we were told you'll never tour the US. We were told we would never play Slam Dunk.
Yeah,
and now...
Here you what? Look, second day.
Here we are! We did it! I can't find my halo, it slips off action.
So guys, second day, Slam Dunk Festival.
Yeah.
How was the first day? How was the second day been for you guys?
First day was amazing. We had a packed tent. There was people singing along. There was people wearing our merch. It was great.
And then today just took it to the next level. Like, we've been touring the US for the last year, and we've finally back. We haven't played a UK festival in a long time, and the reaction's been insane. So yeah, today we were saying before this interview like this could be our favorite ever Greywind show today, possibly. So Leeds,
It was great.
always show up. So yeah.
Yeah, it was
Like
so
the
great.
warm-up show was yesterday, and today you
Yeah.
found your footing.
Yeah.
You knew him for
Exactly.
smashed it.
And it's sunny, you mean?
Absolutely.
So
It's a beautiful day.
It's bank holiday weekend.
Exactly.
What could you ask
And
for?
there's free cookies in back there.
That's
I
it.
know.
Yeah.
I was like, where did you get that cookie? I want a cookie.
Best day of my life.
And just off that, the footnote of your touring across the US, how has that been? Well, first of all, coming back to the UK, but also how was the US?
Oh my God, it was amazing. I feel like that's where our main fan base has become. So it was just crazy. I remember our first show we ever played was in Nashville, and we got out of the van, and there was people like, "Oh my God, Paul and Steph," and we're like, "How do you know who we are?"
So yeah, like US has always been a dream, but so many bands don't get to go there. So we feel so lucky that our main fan base is in the US, and getting to play iconic venues like Chain Reaction in Anaheim was like getting to play in New York for the first time, and Orlando. We're big Disney World fans. Like, if Disney want to sponsor this, you mean?
Hello, Mickey Mouse.
But yeah, so getting to playing these iconic venues has been amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, dream come true.
Absolutely. Do you feel going to places and doing these sort of bigger tours? What do you kind of take away from that? Were there any lessons learned, or that audience interaction? What were some of the key points?
Yeah, I feel like it's helped me get better as a front woman. I feel like even I've learned, even just personally, I feel like I've grown as a person in the past year from touring, because it's hard. It's not
Like,
easy.
So many different personalities on tour. And like luckily we have the best crew in the world. So, but yeah, getting to tour the world with your friends is like a dream come true, and so we feel very grateful.
Yeah.
And it makes a huge difference when you have a good team around you.
Oh,
and obviously
yeah, it does.
You will live and learn, and especially it can be a real like melting point in some occasions. So
Yeah.
it's always good to hear when things go well, but it doesn't always go well, and
Yeah.
you need to be there when things go south.
Definitely.
Exactly.
And sort of talking more about the social side of things, you guys have been really active on TikTok, and bit viral a couple of times. I'd say it was in autumn and afterthoughts.
Yes.
Was the two tracks.
It was like crazy how, like, one night, post a clip of afterthoughts, and like woke up next to have 1 million views. Then in autumn, 2 million. They went viral on Instagram, and we're like, and like all of them were from America. So we were like, what is going on? So we feel so grateful, because a lot of bands, like, you have to be so patient.
Of course.
It feels like some bands just waiting to be signed by a label, but we want to show people that just rely on yourself and be patient. It might not be in the first year you start your band, but keep growing, keep practicing, and you can literally achieve anything. Because we've been told by people, you'll never tour America, you'll never get there. And like, we've been able to do that, and we're just from a small town in the south of Ireland with connections to nobody. So we feel really grateful.
Yeah, we've been dropped dropped again, and now we're back. and dropped one more time.
But, when doing these tracks, I guess it doesn't really go through your head that this is going to be the big one that goes viral.
Yeah.
Is that something you now look for going forward? Again, how is it working in music? Is it challenging trying to think about that, or is it just an afterthought?
To be honest,
I think it's good not to think about that.
We had not a single song we've ever written was like, let's write this for TikTok. Our debut album was, we wrote it after our uncle committed suicide. So those songs are really dark and personal. And then when we felt like our dream was coming true, and then we were stabbed in the back by a lot of people in the industry, and then we were told we were done, we'd like give up by multiple people in this industry. So, but we've just believed in ourselves. And we just want to show that you can achieve anything, and just literally don't listen to anyone. If you believe, like I said, we were told you'll never tour the US. We were told we would never play Slam Dunk. And now...
Here you what? Look, second day.
Here we are! We did it!
And I think that's what radiates so well. Is, social media is a double-edged sword, right?
100%.
You're musicians, you don't go in being social media managers, but I think what's wonderful is when you have, I think the beautiful thing about it is when you have something authentic, and especially the music, that's where you can reach that audience and really and grow.
I think that's what has helped us. I think people can tell we're genuine and we're not trying to write for TikTok. We're not trying to write for Instagram. We're just, it's personal stuff, and if someone connects with it, great. If they don't get it, then it's not for them.
That's what some things I always laugh when I see bands complaining about. I have to do social media, and I was like, guys, all we've ever done is like, we're Greywind, this is our song. That's our promo, and if people like it, great. If they don't, they don't. So I sort of bands are just lazy and complain a lot.
I feel like people overcomplicate it right now.
I think now it's there for the taking to reach. You could write your first ever song tonight, post it on Instagram or TikTok, and wake up and you have a fan base. I think bands just love to blame something else for their not being successful. Just write a good song and you can achieve anything. You mean?
And it's a great middle finger to the ones that said you couldn't do it. I think that's what's wonderful about doing so.
It's just you and your fans. There's no like manager.
Like I feel like before you had to be like, oh, I can only like reach people if I get on radio. I feel like now we don't have to depend on that. It's obviously amazing when you get that, but it's not like, oh my god, the whole campaign relies on that.
Exactly.
And it's a little bit almost like taking back control. Of your own music, and I think that's what's
exactly.
great.
And you love making. Paul like runs our TikTok and our Instagram, and you love it.
Everyone's like, oh, you have the greatest social media manager in the world. It's just me. It's just me.
I was like, I don't have the password. I'm not allowed it.
She'll ruin this all.
And going back to moving away from America, and obviously back to homegrown soil, UK. How has that tour been? Obviously,
it's been great. It's been great. We've played some new songs. We played an unreleased song called Waterfall, which might be out in 2 weeks.
Might be. You never know, but even that. It's one of my favorite songs that we've ever written as well.
We were like, wait, should we play it at Slam Dunk? We were like, no, we can't.
10 minutes before we went on stage, we were like, will we play it? We even asked the stage person, like, can we go on 5 minutes earlier so we can play it?
She was like, no.
But we're so excited about the new music we're writing, and but it's so like special to see it growing, and it's like so many new people and so many familiar faces at the show today, and but it's amazing.
And when you do those new songs, is it how? Well, first of all, how's the reaction been? But is that once you hear songs that you found perhaps connect more deeply with your audiences? I know they all have deep meaningful lyrics, etc. And that's what those.
It's like we played in Nottingham the other day, and during In Autumn, someone went down on their knee during We Swore and got engaged. And then today we have people like crying during our new song Acid Rain, and it's just so special because we pour our heart into. So like every second of this, so seeing it being well received has been like amazing.
It's really rewarding, and it makes me feel like, okay, we're doing something good. So it's great.
And it's powerful because when you're in the studio, it can be very clinical. I know you're obviously creating, but it will never be. You'll never know how it's going to translate when you're in that stage in that room, and there's just hundreds, thousands of people all just watching you. I mean, what goes through your head when you see those moments?
Even today, even seeing people sing Acid Rain and I Killed All My Friends, I was just like, how do they know this? Even like Swing and Sway, I saw so many people singing that, and I was just like, I know it's been out for a year, and I'm still like, how do you know what this is? Because I remember sitting in our living room and we're just singing it acoustic and being like, oh, this is a great song.
Like, as it's just me and Seth, we write everything acoustically, and then we go into the studio and record it properly. So we never get to play it as a band before we record it, like 99% of the bands on earth.
We're not normal.
So the first time we played Acid Rain and I Killed was literally 5 days ago. And we're like, okay, it's great live.
We're like, oh my god, this is so
winning.
fun.
We're in for a winner.
So,
And being a sibling duo, does that obviously the writing comes through to personal experiences, etc. But is there any challenges within that? Obviously, I have a brother. We know what it's like.
I feel like it works in our favor because I feel like we just, I don't know. I feel like
we've always loved the same bands, movies, like.
I feel like you'll know, like if you write something, you'll know if I like it or not.
Exactly.
And then we're working it together, and I feel like our brains kind of work the same in that sense.
We haven't had our Oasis moment yet.
Not yet. Maybe next year.
It's on its precipice.
It's about to hit. This is the last interview we will ever do.
Just fight now.
And in terms of your genre and your style, it's been described as sort of cinematic alt rock. And is that, what goes into that? Is there any sort of external influences that kind of mold?
Like movies and life.
Even where we live near like mountains and lakes, and it's
very like cinematic. It
looks like Game of Thrones, and our name is from Game of Thrones. It's a direwolf, Greywind. So
You mean if he's what? Oh, R.I.P.
Spoiler, rest in peace.
But we want. What's the best way to say this? It's not just songs for us. From like aesthetic to music videos to every single layer of this. We pour our hearts into 100%. So, but yeah, with our songs, it's our own world. So with our debut on Afterthoughts, the first song it opened with I Buried the Clouds, where you used to say swept onto rocks. So we wanted like the listener, you've just arrived into our world, and then it followed up with the Antidote EP. You're now at the edge of a city, and now the next thing that you might hear that we're promoting right now is something called Seven Heart City, which is in our world and it's building to something really special that might be announced in the next 2 weeks. So who knows?
Fantastic. Yeah, seriously. And when you're sort of in that process of writing, you said acoustically, etc., do you think about the longevity of where this is going to end up and building kind of on those rocks, I guess?
Yeah, our aim is just to be able to do this all the time. Like this is all I've ever wanted to do. I feel like so grateful I get to do this, even after everything we've been through. Yeah. I thought there was a time when I was like, oh my God, we're done. Like everyone hates us except our fans.
Yeah, when you're constantly getting like dropped and stabbed in the back, and then you like trust someone again. But then when, like you said, you take control of like, let's just like forget the industry. Like that's why I want to even show bands like literally forget about like the suits and stuff, because all at the end of the day it's just between you and your fans. And we're really grateful that these fans have allowed us. We're playing Slam Dunk because of them, and we got to tour America like so much last year, and we have so much things being planned right now. So yeah, we feel so grateful to be here.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Fuck the haters, as they say.
Exactly.
You've got to keep going, keep pushing.
100%.
Yes.
And what we love to do in it with Amped, we like to sort of get a little bit of history in you guys and how you became musicians, etc. And what I'd love to hear is, could you tell us the story of your first show you went to, rather as opposed to playing?
First show. What was the first? Wait, it was Westlife. So emo.
Ireland, Westlife was the first show.
Yeah. It was a great show. They played in the stadium, Fitzgerald Stadium in town.
Then we saw the Cores.
Oh, the Core, Siblings.
And then we discovered MCR and Thrice and TBS and Mineral.
Game
and
over.
now we're in our.
When I saw Gerard Way, and I was like, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
This is it. This is happening now. And then what was the first album you bought?
I know the first single I got was Smooth Criminal Alien Ant Farm.
Yes, an absolute gem. Come on, what a great album.
You mean? I always remember going into HMV to buy it, but I can't remember the first album. All I remember is that single that I physically bought.
I don't even know. I think
I
remember the first CD I ever really wanted was S Club 7. But then I turned emo.
What was the first emo album?
First emo album. I think the first one I really, really loved was My Chemical Romance. So it's probably 3 Cheers.
I feel like we got into Fall Out Boy first.
Fall Out Boy.
It was like Take Us to Your Grave, From Under the Cork Tree.
From Under the Cork Tree, I remember.
MCR, then like Thrice is getting progressively like darker and heavier and stuff. So, but yeah, we have so many influences from like post-rock bands like Caspian, Explosions in the Sky, to Thrice, to MCR. So yeah, we just love combining all of our favorite bands to create the ultimate Irish emo band.
Absolutely. There we go. Hit it first. And what would you say? What is something you wish you saw more of in the alternative community and space as musicians or as fans?
I don't know. Maybe just more community. I feel like it's lost. I feel even this weekend, like there's been a lot of. I don't know. I feel like everyone's a bit on the edge of each other. I have no problem with anyone, but I don't know.
I don't think the industry is very fake. You mean like we've met we've always been nice to everyone, but we've been stabbed up in the back by loads of people. I've seen so many of them this weekend. You mean so?
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be more community. I feel like it's lost that a bit. Yeah. It'd be nice if everyone was just friends.
Yeah. Like, it's like what?
Can we all be friends?
Don't even go here. Why can't we get on? You mean we just want everyone to have a good time? Like we're living the dream, and some people just.
I think people see. Everyone's trying to be too cool. I'm like, calm down.
World, you mean? Let's have a good time.
Just enjoy.
We're all friends here.
Make friends.
Yeah.
Support each other. Pick each other up.
Yeah. That's what it's about.
Yeah.